In this video, we're going to talk about how to overcome hamstring cramps and hamstring pain. The hamstrings, or the three muscles located right on the backs of your legs, are responsible for a lot of discomfort in our yoga practice. Most of us complain that our hamstrings are too tight, and that tends to be due to our lifestyle. A lot of us sit a lot, so our hamstrings are pretty loose all the time and not getting really contracted. So rather than our hamstrings being tight, for most of us, they're actually weak. So when you are in a yoga class, doing something like a lizard lunge, for example, and the teacher says, bend your knee, reach back, try to catch your foot, and right there you're like, hamstring cramp, hamstring cramp. I think we've all been there at some point, right? I get this question a lot. What is the source of my hamstring cramp? I'm not in your body. I can't know that for sure. But typically, cramps in muscles happen for a variety of reasons, including an electrolyte imbalance, which may or may not be the case for you, dehydration, so drink your water, and most importantly, muscle weakness. Okay, if we sit a lot, that means our hamstrings are disengaged a lot. And all of a sudden, we ask our body to go into a full engagement of the muscle. If the muscle isn't prepped, turned on, awake, or strong enough, it's gonna spasm and it's gonna lock up. Right, so first thing to note, if you get a muscle cramp, it's not the end of the world, but it is your body giving you information about where you need to strengthen. So the best way to fix a muscle that's cramping is to actually, first of all, release the cramp, let the muscle go until the cramp lets go, and then begin to strengthen slowly. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how to do some strengthening exercises for this, but re-strengthening the muscle is the best way to make it stop cramping when you go to engage it. The second issue that happens a lot in our yoga practice is called yoga butt. Are you familiar with this pesky pain that happens right at your lower butt? When you bend down to pick something up, you'll feel it right there. Or if you're doing some kind of forward fold, it'll pull uncomfortably. That injury tends to be called yoga butt in our colloquial language. The actual name of the injury is proximal hamstring tendinopathy. So it is inflammation of the tendons at the hamstring muscles and where they attach to your pelvis, to your ischial tuberosities, which are essentially your sits bones. And what causes this injury is overstretching. Yoga puts an insane amount of emphasis on straight leg stretching poses. Straight leg stretching poses. Straight leg stretching poses. And we don't often get to contract our hamstrings. We're constantly pulling on them, pulling on them, pulling on them. And if you practice yoga predominantly and you're not also weight training or doing something to engage your hamstrings, then it makes sense that after months and years of pulling and insisting on straight knees, we're gonna cause something to overstretch. So proximal hamstring tendinopathy is painful and it is not a death sentence. If you have this in your practice, the best and first thing to do is see a physical therapist or a doctor. Do not take medical advice from anybody on the internet unless they are your doctor. Once you've seen a doctor and it's been established that you have inflammation in the tendons of your hamstrings, your doctor will tell you what to do, and at that point, you're probably going to be told to rest. Once you've gone through your rest period, usually a week or two, then you'll be told to strengthen. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how do we strengthen our hamstrings to bring our tendons and our muscles back together after overstretching, and how do we strengthen our hamstrings if we're experiencing hamstring cramps from weak and sleepy hamstrings that don't get to contract a lot. Yoga is a very incredible practice for so many things, and it's heavily unbalanced. If all you ever do is yoga, there are entire movements that your body is never doing, and there are entire muscle groups that only get stretched and never get contracted. So, we're going to go through a few exercises you can do to strengthen those hamstrings to get yourself out of your yoga butt pain and to prevent and reduce the number of hamstring cramps you're getting. So the first thing that we want to think about is contracting, right? Anything that stretches the back of the leg is going to, not strengthen your hamstrings, and it's going to pull on those hamstring tendons and ligaments more. So if you have the yoga butt injury, no stretching, and certainly no straight leg stretching. You're always going to keep a bend in your knee. But think of anything that contracts the back of the leg. So something as simple as being in tabletop, keeping your belly engaged, squeezing your butt cheek, flexing the foot, and then slowly contracting the heel to the butt and feeling the back of the leg engage. You can do that a few times and then hold it at the max engagement, maximum heel to butt, and pulse it up, up, up. And right away, you're going to start to feel your under butt muscles contract, right? So this is body weight only. There is no weight here, and everybody should be able to do this to the degree that is possible for you right now. To take it up a notch, okay, when we are squeezing against air, there's some degree of engagement of the muscle, but not a whole lot. Giving yourself something to push against can be helpful. So I like to take a block, put it on the medium setting, right, not on the low setting, I'm gonna put it on the medium setting, and I'm gonna trap the block between my heel and my butt. And for me, just holding the block in place, I'm feeling my hamstrings cramp up already, okay? So this in and of itself, just keeping the block there is the work. But then you can lower the knee, try not to drop the block. If you drop it, it's okay, bring it back, and then push it back up. Ooh, good, down and back up. And you don't need a ton of these, right? 5 or 6, and you're out, okay? So that's another way to bring on the hamstrings. Anything in our yoga practice that's back bendy in nature tends to contract the hamstrings. If you think of even low to the ground back bends, something like locust pose, this is going to be more about your upper body, right? But as soon as I have the legs, now I'm engaging the glutes, okay? And as soon as I bend the knees, now I'm engaging glutes and hamstrings. So something you could do is keeping the hands under your shoulders, or even make a little pillow for your face. You can practice lifting your legs off the ground and putting them back down. Lift your legs off the ground and put them back down. Squeeze the butt to lift and lower, right? And you can even use your hand and touch the back of your butt to make sure that things are engaged and squeezing, right? Do a few of those. And lastly, lifting weights. Nobody likes to hear this, but picking up heavy things and putting them back down again is the single best way to get stronger, whatever area of your body you're trying to strengthen. So, a great way to strengthen your hamstrings and pack your tendons and ligaments back together is deadlifts. Okay, so a bend in your knees, you're gonna hold weights in your hands. You can do this with water bottles or a bag of groceries or literally anything. Stick your hips back a bit and slide yourself down so that the weights come almost towards the floor. Notice I'm not straightening my legs. Keeping the legs bent and then pushing through the feet. Squeeze the butt to come up and squeeze at the top. Okay, keep your spine long and straight. Gaze up and push through your heels. Squeeze the butt to come back up. Okay, you can do several of these. I like to do 3 sets of 10 just to really squeeze and engage that back body. And that is going to be a great approach. Now, if you are dealing with yoga butt in your life and in your yoga classes, one thing that you get to edit for right now is no straight leg stretching, okay? Until your injury feels better. Your half split is going to look like this. It's going to have a bent knee, or you're going to skip it entirely. Your warrior 3 is going to look like this. Completely bent knee, hands on the floor. No straight legs. Yeah, even your downward facing dog, keep the knees bent. If you straighten the legs, you are yanking on those tendons and ligaments that are currently inflamed and injured, and you're just delaying your recovery. It sucks because we want recovery now. I know, I get it. We're all human, we're all the same. And pausing, pulling back, and doing the opposite of what injured you in the first place is going to be a really helpful thing to bring you back into balance. Once the injury is gone and you no longer feel pain, you can start to reintroduce straight leg stretches, all the while keeping some of that contraction work in your practice. I hope this helped. If you enjoy this content, click somewhere around here to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.